Heine's Long Journey Home.
Heinrich Bultmann, known to family and friends as Heine, was the son of German immigrants who came to the United States in the closing years of the 1800s. They had been farmers back home in Germany, but they settled in Chicago. They tried to adapt to city life, but the change wasn't as easy or as happy as they had hoped. Then the unthinkable happened. When Heine was about 7, Papa died, leaving Mama, who was sick, with 14 children to raise alone. In those days, there was no such thing as welfare, no assistance for food, medical care, or the rent, so Mama's options were severely limited.
Das ist all, my children. We have no more to eat.
But I still have hunger, Mama.
I'm so sorry, Heine. Our food is gone and our money is gone too. It is not like the farm in Germany where we could grow food. In the city, we have to buy everything.
Will we have food in the morning, Mama?
There is nothing left in the cupboard, and I don't know where we can get money for more. If I weren't so sick, I could go to work and earn money, but as it is...
But we will have money for supper tomorrow, Mama. I met a lady who wants me to clean house for her tomorrow. And the money she pays me will buy our supper.
Very good, Tilly. But that is just one meal. It will not feed all of us every day, and it will not pay the rent or buy shoes for the little ones. I just cannot do it anymore. I have prayed and prayed to God, and I can't think of only one thing to do.
What is that, Mama?
The 7 youngest of you children must go to the orphanage.
The orphanage? Even the baby?
Yeah, yes, even she must go.
9! No, Mama!
No, I'm strong. I will get some work to help.
You are strong, yes, my Heine, but you are too young to make enough money. Tilly and the other 6 older children can find enough work between them to feed us.
No, I won't go.
Just think, Heine, there you will get 3 good meals every day.
Well...
In the bed. Here you have to sleep on the floor since we had to sell all the beds.
Maybe...
By morning you will see. When your stomach rumbles, you will be glad to go where you will never have hunger again.
But Mama, you will not be there.
In the morning, Tilly, you will take the little ones to the orphanage.
Me? Oh, no, Mama, I can't.
You think I can? I can hardly walk around the house. There is no way I can walk 2 miles to the orphanage. And can you think how I would feel to walk away and leave my darling children?
Of course, Mama. But it will be so hard. We are ready to go, Mama.
Come here, my children. Let me hug each of you one more time.
I want to stay with you, Mama.
Heine, you are the oldest one going to the orphanage. Take care of your little brothers and sisters. And always remember.
Yes, Mama.
Remember Jesus. He will be with you. I cannot be, but he will. Always.
Come, children, stay together. The orphanage isn't much farther. There, little Heidi. Soon you will have a full tummy and a soft, warm bed to sleep in. Look, everyone, that must be it there ahead.
Looks like a prison.
Enough of that, Heine. That is where you're going to live, so you might as well make the best of it.
I don't like it, Tilly.
Hush, Gisela, it's all right. Heine, don't scare the little ones. It is a good place. You will see.
you.
Please, ma'am, I have brought my little brothers and sisters to live at the orphanage.
Really? I must speak to our director, Mr. Sims. I'm not at all sure we can accept any more children. And you have so many. 5, 6, 7. Wait here.
When the children were ushered into Mr. Sims' office, the tall, well-dressed man smiled. Tilly smiled back, but Heine immediately distrusted him.
Well, well, what have we here? 7 brothers and sisters, is it?
Yes, Mr. Sims. Our father is dead, and our mother is not well. She cannot work or take care of the younger children anymore.
Well, you can stop worrying, miss. We'll take good care of the little darlings. Here they'll have 3 good meals a day, comfortable beds to sleep in, and we have school right here on the premises. They will all attend school, this big boy right away, and the others as they get old enough.
That is so good. Mama will be so happy when I tell her. You see, Heine, this will be a good place for you. Do not look so glum.
Glum, is he? We'll soon change that, I promise you. I'm going to keep my eye on you, boy.
Yes, that is what he needs. The attention of a good man. He's been so sad since Papa died.
Well, he'll have no time to be sad here. Now say goodbye to your sister, children.
Please, Tilly, take me home with you.
Me too.
Now, children, the sooner you say goodbye, the sooner you'll feel better. Here, Miss Tilly, hand me the baby. Coochie coochie coo, little sweetie. Now out the door with you, miss.
Goodbye, my darlings.
Goodbye, Tilly.
Bye.
Once Tilly was gone, it took but a second for Mr. Sims' attitude to shift dramatically.
Now all of you, stop that sniveling. Mrs. Battle, come here at once.
Yes, Mr. Sims.
Take this little brat to the nursery and...
Do not call my baby sister a brat, you.
Silence!
You hit me.
And, Mrs. Battle, once you have deposited the little brat, come right back.
Yes, sir.
Now, you little devils, you have missed breakfast, so you will wait until noon to eat.
But we have hunger. We did not get breakfast this morning.
And is that my fault? Am I the one who made your mother a poor planner? In my organization, we operate according to a strict schedule. I'm glad you're back so quickly, Mrs. Battle. Now be just as quick getting these German brats out of my sight and into their proper dormitories. Except this one. He and I are going to have a little talk.
Come, children. No, don't look back at your brother. He won't get anything he doesn't deserve.
Now you listen, and you listen good. In this place, your German emperor, your Kaiser Wilhelm, is nothing. Do you understand?
Who is Kaiser?
Don't interrupt when I'm talking to you. The only thing you need to know is that you will do exactly as I tell you, or you will feel this. Only next time, this ruler will come across your knuckles instead of the desk. Do you understand me, boy?
Yes, Herr Sims.
Don't ever call me that! We'll have none of your heathen German tongue here. You will speak English at all times, and you will address me as sir. Do you understand?
Yes, Herr. I mean, sir.
That's better. You just remember that, and we'll get along just fine. Now, I can't have you lazing around all morning, so, what task can I find for you?
Could I go to school, sir?
School? What have you done to earn school? You will work for the rest of the morning, that's what you'll do. The janitor's room is the door on the left, just down the hall. You knock on it and ask Charlie Dodd to keep you busy until dinner. Now go. And one more thing. From now on, your name is Henry. The children may call you Hank, but I don't ever want to hear that disgusting name Heine again.
Why, hello there, young man. What can I do for you?
Are you Mr. Dodd?
That I am, right enough. Though they don't call me Mister around here, no siree.
I'm Honey. Hank. Sir Sims said to ask you to keep me busy till dinner.
Sir Sims. Did he now, huh? Well, come in, boy, come in. Let's see what I can find for you to do. Do you like numbers?
Yeah, I've wanted to go to school and learn about them. But Sir Sims...
Let's just call him Mr. Sims, all right?
All right. Anyway, he said I have to earn school by working with you. I think I will like that.
I think I'll like that too.
My papa used to talk to me about numbers. I miss my papa.
I'm sure you do. Here's the newspaper. Can you read? You could read while I work.
9. I mean no.
Well, then, let's find another job for you to do until the dinner bell rings.
Heine spent the morning working and talking with Mr. Dodd. Finally, it was time for dinner, which is what Chicagoans call the noonday meal. Eagerly, the hungry child took his place at a long table with other boys. The girls sat at tables on the opposite side of the room. The smell of food had his stomach dancing in anticipation. When Mr. Sims called for prayer, Heine reverently bowed his head.
We thank thee, Lord, for this bounty of delicious food, which we have justly earned in thy service, by taking care of these lost and wasted products of stupid and improvident parents. Help us to straighten out these crooked sprouts, so that one or two of them at least may one day become strong trees. Help us to discipline their shortcomings, so that they will learn the way of righteousness.
Heine was shocked at the prayer. He had never heard anyone talk that way about children, let alone say such things in a prayer. He was even more shocked when he saw the food given to them. And turning to the boy next to him, he asked,
What is this?
That's our dinner. Didn't you hear Mr. Sims praying over it?
I smell rolls and vegetables and fresh bread. But this is just broth.
You're new here. What's your name?
Heine. Hank.
I'm Ralph, and this is our food.
Broth? But I saw the cooks bring some pies in. I want some pie. I have so much hunger. I know Mr. Sims did not pray over this.
Yeah, see where all the good food goes? Right up to the head table where Mr. Sims and the staff sit. We don't get any of that.
Never?
Not ever. Mr. Sims gets money from the county to feed us, but he puts most of it in his pocket. And we get this.
We will get something more for supper, yes?
Oh, yeah. For supper, we get cornmeal mush. And for breakfast, we'll have a slice of stale bread with our broth.
Mama said Jesus would be with me. But I think he does not care about me at all.
Unfortunately, Heine soon learned that lack of good food would not be his only problem. He had imagined that at the orphanage he would have a room with his younger brothers and sisters. But when bedtime came, he was in for another unpleasant surprise.
Come along now, Hank. Hurry up. You will sleep in the boys' dormitory.
Heine was shown a hard, narrow bed with one thin blanket. On the wall was a single hook for his clothes. His younger brothers were all at the end of a second row of beds, and although he didn't know it at the time, his little sisters were in a similar room on the other side of the building. His stomach growled, and a tear rolled down his cheek as he longingly thought of his mother and his home.
Oh, Mama, I miss you so much.
As the months went by, Heine, or Hank as he was now called, was able to get a little bit of schooling. Unfortunately, however, his school day was often interrupted.
Hank, please come up to the front of the classroom.
Yes, Mr. Miller.
You will recite your letters for us. Begin.
A as in apple, B as in bird, C as in carrot.
Hank, you will come with me. I have a job for you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sims.
Out the door now. Hurry up. Faster, I say. Here, you will take this bucket and brush and thoroughly clean out all the fire grates in the staff rooms.
It was a pattern that would repeat itself many times over, often with the most unpleasant chores being assigned to Heine.
Sure, you can go to school, Hank, after you empty and wash out all the chamber pots in the staff members' rooms. No school for you today, Hank. You'll have to help Charlie Dodd bring in wood for all the fireplaces. Now don't you dare give me that look. You're on kitchen duty today, Hank. You'll help Charlie wash the pots and pans in the bakery. And mind you, stay out of the food cupboards.
Over the next 3 years, Heine lost all trace of his German accent. One by one, he lost his younger siblings too, as they were adopted. He would never see any of them again. By the age of 10, because he had been worked hard with little food, he was even weaker and skinnier than the other underfed orphans, though his friend Ralph wasn't much better off. One night, after dozing in and out of sleep,
Ralph, I can't stand it anymore. I'm so hungry.
So am I, Hank. I can smell the fresh bread baking for the staff. That makes it even worse.
I'm gonna see if I can get into the bakery.
I'm coming with you.
tiptoeing through the halls, down the stairs, and out the back door, the two boys followed the tantalizing aroma of baking bread. Finally, they stood in front of the bakery, which was at one end of the big orphanage building.
There's a bakery, all right, but how are we gonna get into it? And even if we do, Mr. Sims or the bakers will skin us alive if they find us. Ain't no way we're gonna get any bread.
We've got to. I'm so hungry. If I don't get something more to eat and soon, it's gonna kill me. I know. There's an empty room just above the bakery. I've been there cleaning with Mr. Dodd. We'll sneak up the back stairs.
And I still don't see how that's gonna get us any bread. But if you're going, I'm going to.
Heine and Ralph crept up the stairs to the empty room above the bakery and tiptoed over to a hole in the floor, cut originally for a stovepipe. The overwhelming aroma of the bread being baked for Mr. Sims and his staff wafted up through the hole, leaving the boys nearly faint with hunger. As they knelt and peered downward,
There, see? The bakers are taking the loaves out of the oven.
That bread smells so good. I don't think I can stand it.
Look, Mr. Dodd is there too. He sure does a lot of work around here.
Oh no, look, he saw us. Now we're gonna get in trouble.
No, we're not. See, he's looking around at the other bakers, and now he's holding his finger to his lips.
obeying Mr. Dodd's gesture, the boys fell silent, and they could hear part of the conversation in the room below as Mr. Dodd spoke to the other workers.
I can finish up here, fellas. You can just go on. It's getting late.
All right. Let's go, everybody. Charlie's got this.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, boys. I'm gonna pass the loaf up to you. Reach down and take it quick, in case one of them comes back.
I've got it. Thank you, Mr. Dodd.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Now, don't say anything to anyone about this. You understand?
Yes, we understand.
Thanks again, Mr. Dodd.
Good night, boys.
Here, Ralph, here's your half.
Thanks, Heine.
Oh, this is so good.
Aren't you gonna say grace before you eat?
Ralph, God doesn't care about me. Doesn't matter if I pray or not.
After that, Heine and Ralph went to the empty room as often as they could, and Heine always believed those loaves of bread, which Mr. Dodd handed up through the hole in the floor, saved his life. But it was still not enough food for good health, and over time, Heine became skinnier and weaker, and more discontented.
What's the matter, Hank? Has Mr. Sims been giving you a hard time again?
Nah, I just hate living in the orphanage. I'm always hungry and I want to go home.
I'm sick of it too. I'm getting old enough now. I bet I can find a job. And if I do, I'll be out of here so fast.
When Heine was 11 years old, his friend Ralph, then 13, did get a job and left the orphanage, just as he said he would. Without his best friend, Heine was more miserable than ever. It wasn't long before he too decided he was through with the orphanage for good. So late one night, he left his bed and began tiptoeing down the hall.
I never ever want to see this place again. Oh no, there's light coming from under that door. Oh!
Why, Hank, what are you doing here? You're not sick, are you?
I'm leaving Mr. Dodd and I'm never coming back. I'm going home to live with Mama. I'm old enough to get a job now and to help the family out.
Well, all I can say is Godspeed.
Heine hurried away, but within a few blocks he was so weak he had to slow down. And he was a little lost. It had been more than 4 years since he had walked from his home to the orphanage, and in the opposite direction. Besides, everything looked different in the dark. Finally, he huddled in a doorway and slept there for the rest of the night. The next morning, he found his way to his old neighborhood.
There, that's it. That's our house. Mama will be so surprised to see me. She'll be glad to have me back home. I can help now.
Ja, what you want?
Frau Bultmann? I want to see Frau Bultmann.
There is no Frau Bultmann here.
But she lives here. She's my mother. This is our house.
Nein, for years I live here and there is no Frau Bultmann.
Well, do you know where she went?
Nein, I know nothing about her. Look somewhere else.
Stunned, Heine turned away and began walking down the street through the German section of the city. He had never realized before how very big Chicago was. As he went along, he asked shopkeepers and passersby if they knew his mother. Their answers were discouraging, to say the least.
Nein, I do not know her. Get the way out. I have work to do.
Who are you? Why you ask me?
Nein, boy, I do not know her. Don't bother me. I have to deliver these papers.
Ah, you poor boy. Have you lost your mama? The streets are not safe. Come, I take you to the orphanage.
No, thanks, but I have to go now.
All day, Heine trudged up one street and down another until he was miles from the home he knew and completely lost. He was hot and tired, hungry and very thirsty. In his discouragement, his feet dragged and his heart seemed to be somewhere around his ankles. Finally, late in the afternoon, he came to a crossroads with a railroad track running through it. There was a curb right next to the tracks, and overwhelmed by his situation, Heine sat down to rest. Alone, frightened, and completely absorbed in his thoughts, he paid little attention to his surroundings. But suddenly, he jumped to his feet in panic.
Oh, wow, that was close. I didn't even hear that train coming. It almost hit me. Well, I might as well sit back down. I've got no place else to go. Besides, there probably won't be another train for a while. And even if there is, no one's even gonna care if I get hit.
Heine sat down on the curb again with his back to the railroad track. He was fighting back tears when he heard a voice calling out.
Heine! Heine!
It sounds so good to hear that name. I know she's not calling me. Nobody around here knows me. But I wish I could be Heine again, instead of Hank. I wish someone loved me like that. I wish Jesus loved me like Mama always said he did.
Heine! Over here! Heine!
Wait, that voice! That voice sounded familiar. Heine snapped his head up, and there, hanging out a second-story window across the street and waving wildly at him, was his big sister Tilly. Suddenly, full of energy, Heine sprang to his feet.
Tilly? Tilly?
Yes, it's me!
Tilly!
We live here now. Come on!
I'm coming, Tilly! I'm coming! Mama was right about Jesus. He does love me. I thought he didn't care about me, but he brought me right home, even when I didn't know where home was.
Wow, Aunt Nikki, what an amazing story. I guess it should give us all courage that even when things don't seem to be going well, even when we're discouraged or even angry with God, He has not forgotten us.
Very true, Uncle John. And in later years, when Heine told his children this story, he always gave God all the credit for leading him home.
The Bible says the righteous will not be forsaken. It's true that in this sinful world we will have trouble, and yet we have God's word that He'll always be with us.
He wants to wrap His arms around us and lead us home, just like He did Heine.
Amen.